It was a good night to be a road team tonight, and yeah, I'm not gonna have to do timestamps because I don't have a whole lot to say. I'm gonna start with Vancouver and Arizona because I just finished this game, and that was the worst game I've seen the Canucks play at home. And I'm gonna stop the sentence there. Now you got Besser out, you got Berchi out, you got Eriksson out, you've got Granlund out, and you've got Gauntz out. It's 5 forwards out, and I know Eriksson might suck, but this is bad. A body scored tonight. That's right. Jokinen scores his first as a Canuck, an assist to Leipzig, and that's where the happiness ends. Markstrom made, depending on which statistic you're looking at, 31. Nope. They did grant him that 30-second save. So let me go ahead and make that change on my end because it had said 31 saves, and then in the post game they said it was 32, and now it shows 32. Markstrom played very well. It doesn't matter. Keller, Stepan scored in the last minute of the game. So Arizona goes into Vancouver and gets a win because Western Canada is very giving at home. It's hard. It's funny because during the day today and yesterday and the day before, we were seeing specials on tickets for tonight's game, and it's like, well, of course, Arizona and Vancouver's been in the tank, so they would be really cheap tickets. And I had thought about, maybe logistically, maybe we could make this work. I am so glad I didn't go see that game. Wow. Let's go to Calgary. Buffalo decided tonight they want the #1 draft pick, apparently, or at least the best shot at it, because with Arizona's win and Buffalo's loss, Buffalo's now in the lead for the draft lottery. That's right. They've played one more game than Arizona. Arizona's got one less regulation loss. They've got the same number of points. So by percentages, Arizona is now number 30. You guys should be staying up drinking tonight. You Arizona kids can call into school tomorrow and say, we're not coming in because Arizona's not last in the NHL and we're staying up partying all night. I want to hear about these wild parties all over the state of Arizona for the fact the Coyotes are no longer last. And Buffalo is. And Buffalo fans should be rejoicing. Nelson with the 1 goal. Johnson and Leonard split time in the net for Buffalo. Hamilton, Giordano, Monahan, Jankowski, and Bennett with goals for Calgary. Riddick, 25 saves. There you go. They go into Buffalo and they spank them. For the Flames, they really had to win this because they're still alive for a playoff spot. It's not looking great for them, but they're still alive for a playoff spot. So the Flames do what they got to do to get themselves into a good position. I like it. I'm a big fan of it because, again, I want to see more Canadian teams in the playoffs. And for Buffalo, again, at this point, it's between them and Arizona for the #1 pick, unless Vancouver somehow gets in there. Which, with all the injuries, it could happen. So yeah, Buffalo, Arizona, Vancouver, take your pick. Yes, Vancouver's still 31st on the power rankings. They were 31st coming into today, and with that loss at home to Arizona, they are entrenched in 31st. They managed 17 shots at home. When they got their third shot in the second period, the fans cheered, mocking them. Whew. Rough night. Pittsburgh went in and handled Philly. And this was a rough game early, and it looked like it was going to be a fast, very close game, but Pittsburgh did pull away. Mrazek with 23 saves in the loss on 27 shots. The 5th goal by Pittsburgh was an empty netter. Sherry, Malkin, Alexiak, and Kessel with the goals for Pittsburgh. Jari makes 26 saves, and for Philly, Voracek and Konechny with the goals. This is bad. For Philly, this is bad. This is 4 in a row, and this is becoming a trend, and it's becoming a trend at the exact wrong time. New Jersey's getting better. Columbus is getting their act together. We could see Philly drop right out. And for Pittsburgh, this win propels them into first place by 1 point. Yes, Washington has games in hand, but the fact that Pittsburgh's in the conversation for first place in the Metro Division means, yeah, it's a sign of the apocalypse or of 3 Stanley Cups, depending on how you view the situation. So big game for Sherry. Malkin comes through. 3 assists for Crosby. Alexiak with a goal. Everybody goes home happy if you're a Pittsburgh fan. If you're a Philly fan, probably less enthused. Now, Something I haven't done, and I'm just going to go ahead and do this. If you look in the description for for any video I do, I leave a link to Patreon, and I don't talk about it a lot on here, but I'm supposed to. Because I do have a shout out reward level. At that level, I have Garrett Ellis, Chase Howard, Jake Robinson, Darren Choi, Anton Soderberg, Neil Nelson. One guy who doesn't want his name mentioned on the air. He said, "I don't, I know I'm at at that level, but don't just do a shout out." Ben Fraser, Joe Barnhart, Darcy Callback, Gustav Persson, Aaron Deaton, Justin Wiltron, Anssi Tervonen, Chang Meng Friedman, Matt Young, Lars Oskar, Judd Geis, Judd Geese, I would think, Michael Schemmer, Tina Maloney, Gene Taylor, and Close Ruzi Chen. That's the shout-out level. And I'm going ahead and making a statement here because there's 200 patrons on there, appreciative of the support we get on there, and I'm supposed to do those shout-outs once a week. So I apologize to people for being behind on that. Those are all of the February paid patrons that are supposed to be getting a shout out once a week. So I got to come up with some sort of a schedule for that, don't I? And I will say this, that Yvonne and I are both involved in this now. Yvonne's got very active with it over the last few months, and it's kind of become its own active community on the side. I'm trying to post more stuff on there. It's not stuff that if you're missing it necessarily means you're missing something major, but it gives some behind the scenes stuff and some looks at things that maybe I'm not talking about on the channel, that maybe I'm talking about there. So I figured with there only being 3 games tonight, I could go ahead and throw this in at the end. People can, stop the video 4 minutes in if they don't feel like hearing it. But for people who are patrons of mine, greatly appreciated. Appreciate the community that I've got going on there, and it's been fun too because I gave the Discord link to the Discord server for this channel on Patreon, and very good group has joined Discord from that, and it's fun, and it's always something that's evolving. Not everybody gets along all the time, but that's the way the internet works. That's kind of the way it rolls. But thank you guys for all your support. You make it worth doing this. You make it fun to do all this every day. And so kind of a well, it's a down night in a way because you get Arizona and Vancouver. It doesn't really matter. Pittsburgh beats Philly. Sadly, that's kind of what I'd expected. And the Flames beating Buffalo isn't exactly news, other than the fact that the Flames desperately needed this win. So there you go. There's tonight's games. There's my Patreon shoutouts, and thank you for all your support again. Hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. And tomorrow, there's a lot of hockey to make up for tonight. And you know how I know that? Because I work tomorrow morning. Yeah. And I work until 5 o'clock, meaning I'll miss the start of a lot of games. Because that's the way this works. I work tomorrow and Friday. When there's a big night, that usually means I work it. But yeah. So thank you guys again for all your support. And I'll talk to you again soon.